Nick.
Hey, Jeremy.
Thank you for joining us on CodeChat. I'm Jeremy Foster. You can find me online at Code Foster, and I'm chatting with Nick Landry, my colleague. Nick and I have appeared before together. If you know this, the answer to this trivia question, go ahead.
On Microsoft Virtual Academy. We recorded a full day on developing applications for Windows, universal apps with Cortana.
That's right. So all about speech. This is kind of one of your passions.
Yes,
speech.
definitely. Yeah.
So that's fun. But Nick is in town because we have an event at Microsoft called Tech Ready. But you are from where? You hail from?
So originally from Canada, hence the accent. So I'm French-Canadian from Montreal, and now I live in New Jersey.
All right, New Jersey. So the other coast. But glad you're here on campus, and glad we can get together and chat about some things.
Yeah.
Nick, you just are in the process of home buying. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we already have a home right now, and it's funny because I'm buying a new house. My wife got a new job, so I need to make sure that it's gonna be closer to her job. So, and I was thinking, you know what? Now that I got a new house and I've got all these ideas about it, I think now's the time for home automation.
Get into home automation.
Yeah.
And you said you're playing with INSTEON. Is that right?
Yeah, I already got like a few pieces of equipment to kind of test like different technologies. So I got like the INSTEON, like the hub you connect to your Wi-Fi, and like the remote controlled camera that can look infrared.
Right.
Light bulbs as well. So you basically can just put in the light bulb in a lamp.
You know, the INSTEON app on my phone is one of those apps that if I looked at the usage, it would be like number one. I open it every single day. Because I check on my kids, I turn off the lights.
Also, you do use that as well.
I do. I have INSTEON.
Cool. What modules do you have?
I have some plug-in modules, and there's two kinds. There's kinds that can dim and kinds that are just switch on, switch off, which is kind of important. So for things like my Christmas tree, I don't want to. When we had a Christmas tree for Christmas this last year.
Yeah, you don't dim the Christmas tree.
Yeah, you don't dim those. You just turn them on or off, and it's
romantic
important.
lighting for the Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a thing.
It's
not a thing. But then I have the cameras. It's really good at recognizing the cameras. I have a number of light switches that I've replaced in the wall.
Right.
So I replace a normal light switch with an INSTEON one, and of course, then you can't have a switch that has any state, like it's on position or off position.
Right. It's gotta be
so it
digital.
just kind of hovers in the middle, and you just kind of push it up, and it goes back to its middle state and push it down.
It's a digital switch.
That's
basically.
right. Absolutely. And so I've got those, and I control the lights and everything. And then I also have I use one of those plug-in modules, and in combination with a thermostat to control my heating system. So my thermostat, I can control it, but I also use a plug-in module for a blower fan that distributes the heat in my house.
Right.
So I use those together in concert to handle the heat.
Do you control things with voice?
I can, yes. And I don't very often because the app is not great at it. It works, but if I say, INSTEON, turn on the living room light, it takes a little while. And if my kid is yelling, then it doesn't happen.
Well, you see, that's what I want to work on, actually. So the whole automation with voice, because pulling out your phone every time, I'm trying to find like the perfect way of doing this. The phone is one way of doing it. The app has some features, but the cool thing is they have an API.
Right.
So I want to build my own applications to control and either have like maybe my own consoles that I would leave in the house that somebody can just go and control things, but also doing it from any phone that I can control with voice.
Well, one of my favorite things about INSTEON is that the hub has an API.
Yep.
And so I'm able to connect to the hub, and even though I can use the first-party apps and stuff to control it, I can also write my own programs to control it.
That's exactly what I want to do. So to tap into it, because I know that the app only goes so far. It covers the most like common scenarios that people will do, and I definitely want to go and extend it so that I can add my own voice commands as well. We all know how voice commands can be powerful. You can use natural language processing and everything. Very often, manufacturers, they go and they put in like the bare minimum support for voice, and I'm like, you know what? That's not how I want to say it.
Yeah, I want to be able to say it.
I want to say it differently. I want to say it naturally. I want to have different combinations of things. Or if, for example, my wife is crazy smart, but she's not huge on technology. So if I tell her, like, hey, sweetie, you actually have to tell it this way to the app, maybe she'll see it in a different way. So I want to be able to go write an extension so that I can add a new command. So whatever way she prefers to say it in, then we can do it.
It's pretty exciting. It's kind of this utopian idea in my mind, at least, to be able to just talk to my environment and have things change real naturally, but it has to really be naturally because you're talking about an environment where you're sitting down to read or you're gathering around the table to eat or whatever. You need that to be natural.
If it takes you longer to do it with voice or with an app than it would to just walk over to that switch.
That's right.
You've failed.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's got to be more natural. It's got to be. You want to reach basically Jarvis in Iron Man. You know, where you can just walk in and talk to Jarvis, and I want the thing to talk back to me as well.
Yeah.
Because the current INSTEON app doesn't speak back to you.
Oh yeah.
So I want to be able to hear that thing talk back to me and maybe give me some commands or ask for confirmations.
Yeah.
Maybe even suggestions. I also want to start pairing things with the motion sensors, so that the motion sensors detecting you in a room can trigger certain things in the house as well.
Yeah, and they could even be interactive, where if the system sees you walk into a room, it could ask you.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Because it's very hard to program a rule. There's already some support today
Yeah.
for motion sensors in INSTEON, but I don't want to have like a blind rule that says, hey, if I walk in the room, turn on the light.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, I mean, lights is one thing. Maybe it could be like music or something. And then it gets really interesting once you start plugging this into machine learning.
Oh, yeah.
I started playing with machine learning recently with our Azure machine learning. And I just see so much potential there where I would love to program the system so that it can start learning from my habits.
Oh, yeah.
And then it knows, depending on hours of the day, things like that, you know, hey, maybe Nick wants to do that, so maybe I'll ask. And there's other times it could just go right away, and then immediately go into recognition mode to say like, no, don't turn on the light, I'm good. You know, it's a pipe dream probably, and the idea is just to go like slowly but surely. But
That'd be fun to pursue, though.
as you said, speech is one of my passions, and definitely I want to make sure I can talk to my house.
So the other thing I'm excited about is the fact that the INSTEON can just be, like the hub can just be one component of my house and all of its things. Like INSTEON sells all of these pieces to their solution, and that's great, but maybe I also want to go install an Intel Edison or a Raspberry Pi and some other kinds of sensors. And now if I write my own API for my house, then I can not only call my INSTEON, this commercial product, but I can also call my little hacky things.
Yeah, you want to make your own gadgets for it. They already have like a fairly extensive list of things they support that are either their own or from partners.
Right.
But definitely, since we're both like hackers, makers, and into IoT, if you can create your own extension, your own module, whether you connect something like a motor connected to a relay, and then you just activate a latch or something like that, and then control it from voice. You see, now all the pieces are starting to fit together. So between the home automation, the computer speech, plus your own gadgets, that's a
That's cool.
Watch out, Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeremy and
here
Nick are
we
coming.
come.
Yeah, totally.
Our toys aren't quite as cool yet.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we'll have to get
we're working
there,
on
you
it.
know.
Okay, cool. So that's fun. I love that space. I love the home automation space. It's been fun having a chat with you about it. Anything else that you want to add for folks?
Well, if you're interested actually on the speech stuff, I'm starting a new series on Channel 9.
There you go.
So it's called Coding with Cortana.
Okay.
Of course, I would definitely encourage you to go watch the MVA that we watched last time. So aka.ms/CortanaMVA.
Okay.
We can also include it in the show notes. You can follow me at Age of Mobility on my blog, on Twitter at ActiveNick. My GitHub is github.com/ActiveNick.
And like I was telling you for a previous guest, if you go to Channel 9, the main URL, to Niners, then Active Nick, you'll find all the videos on Channel 9 that Nick is in. So if you're interested in the same kinds of technology and cool things, that's a good thing to do.
And definitely we have the Maker Show that we just started recently. So we already have a few episodes that have been published. More in the pipeline are coming. So
a lot more in the pipeline
a lot
that are
more.
coming.
Yeah, we have a whole crew working on this. So definitely, since people watching this might be interested on the maker side of the conversation we just had, themakershow.io will redirect you directly to the Channel 9 page. So it's an awesome show.
And it would be awesome if you jumped onto Twitter and mentioned at the Maker Show and talk about the project that you're working on. We'd love to amplify your story and just kind of feel like, you know, we've got some collaboration developers in the wild, and that's kind of what we are as developers.
And if you're already using home automation as well, whether it's with INSTEON or something else, whether you're using it like out of the box with the app or whether you're building your own, just put your comments in the show notes. I would love to hear ideas from other members of the community out there and hear how they've automated their house, basically.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me, Nick. Thank you guys for joining us on CodeChat, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.